Hi everyone, and welcome to my webinar masterclass, Let's Get Digital. So now you're here, I'm guessing, because you've noticed that in the last, very short period of time, the world appears to have gone virtual, and not by choice. So in the last 2 decades, I've been working as a graphic designer, website developer, and digital marketer. So being virtual and working digitally is really my first language, and it's something that I've been doing every day for 2 decades, if I dare to admit. So when we were told that it's a great idea to be working from home and to be working remotely, this is no change for us because this is how we work anyway. You can see here I've got virtual I've got workstations, and the team that work with me have simply unplugged their laptops and are doing the same job from home. We speak to our clients this way that I'm speaking to now through video conferencing anyway, because we've found that it saves so much time and travel, and it saves everyone, clients and myself, a lot of time, energy and money. And also I can work with people around the globe. So geography is no issue to people that work digitally. Now, over the last couple of decades, people have been coming on board, have been digitizing their businesses by choice. They've been pivoting and offering things and, servicing a larger market than just their local area because they can. They've jumped on board that train, that opportunity, but they haven't had to necessarily. So now we're seeing their hands have been tied and they've been forced to think digitally, forced to change the way their business operates, forced to change the way they do things. So we've found a bit of a divide. There have been people that have, everyone's had the rug pulled out from under them, and some people have decided to just, they don't know what to do. So they've just kept, like a deer in headlights. We've found a lot of others have actually taken the opportunity very quickly to pivot and to see what they do currently and see how they can take that online. At the end of this, when the world goes back to normal, their business will be stronger for it because they've literally added offerings to their business. They've changed the way they do things. They've been more virtual, which when they're back on track is going to set their business up, position their business so that they soar and they're ready to go and firing on all 4 cylinders on the other side. So it's a really great idea. Now, everyone is... So one of my idols, Brendan Burchard, he's saying right now that every single business owner every single person needs to learn to sell, teach, or communicate online, because whatever industry they're in, whether they're a 6-year-old from school like ours has just been sent home with an iPad to prepare themselves for virtual learning. We've got friends that are lecturers and they're getting themselves set up so that they can teach online. We've got bricks and mortar businesses that are setting up their shops online, or maybe they had a little bit online and now they're going full e-commerce because they know that while people are at home, they're still shopping. You can see the absolute demand for lots of digital products right now because people are at home and the internet's all fine and well, and a lot of people are finding themselves in isolation, right? So they've got time. Amazon's gone crazy. A lot of online businesses have gone crazy during this time. So what I want to help you do is to show you over the last couple of decades, I've used a lot of different platforms, different programs I've trialed and tested simply in my own business to help my own business work virtually, and also for helping set up my clients work virtually. So I wanted to share those programs to help you guys save a truckload of time so that you guys can pivot and set up your businesses to work virtually as soon as possible. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully it helps you save time, and hopefully you can get on and keep trading and help weather the storm and position your business so you're stronger out the other side. So before further ado, let me just quickly share my screen with you. So I'm using a video conferencing software, and you're seeing me talk in my own office, and I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what the other programs on my computer. So I'm going to my PowerPoint and then I'm going to start that presentation. Great. So our aim is to evolve, not disappear during this time. There are still lots of opportunities. People are still really conscious of trading and supporting small business. and there are more eyes than ever before. We already had so many eyes on social media and online, and there are more than ever before right now. And there are a lot of people that are quite slow to pivot, and a lot of people that are pulling out of being online, as in advertising their business, or they're cutting back. So this is a great time for you to get visible, stand up, shout from the rooftops that you can offer services still from an online marketplace, and share your thoughts, share your knowledge, speak on camera, be the leader in your field. Lots of opportunities for that right now to help people through. Okay, so I've already introduced myself, but here it is again. Dig deep, digitize, and go all in right now to ensure that your business stays trading any way possible and is in a position to absolutely soar once the downturn is over. So we are making lemonades. We're making lemonade out of lemons. Is that the term? Cool. So we're going to jump right into, if you're building a new website, lots of people need to pivot. They haven't got it. I think 1/3 of all American businesses don't even have a website. So first port of call, do you need a website? Yes, you do actually need a website. You need a website because even if you're not trading on it, if people find you, they find you through social media or they're recommended to you. People Google. They love to Google and check you out and see if you're credible, see who you are, who the person is behind the business, and get your contact details. Google needs you to have a website so that they can rank you, so that when people search for you, they go, oh, yep, that's legitimate business. I'll put you at the top. So yes, you do need a website. Now, as a website designer myself, and about 90, I think it's about 80-something%. I don't know the exact numbers, but most of the world's websites are built on WordPress, which is an open source software. We use WordPress, and most web professionals will use WordPress simply because it's so malleable and we can make it do whatever we want it to do. So it is a very easy to use for us. We're tech savvy people, keep in mind. It's very easy for us to use. We can custom build and design a website and have it look and function exactly as we need it to. There are no limitations for us on this. We can pair it with there's a million different builders, like backing builders you can plug into WordPress that you as the end user will then go and use. Some of these are harder than others. We use one called Elementor, which is extremely easy for our clients to jump in and edit their own websites after we're finished. So we can manage SEO really well. We can set it up with great SEO, and we can improve SEO to increase your Google rankings. We can track things. We do a lot of digital advertising with Google and with Facebook, Instagram. We can install pixels and really easily track what's happening when they reach your website. That WordPress is the best option if you are a super savvy individual and you have no problems with tech at the moment. You're just not sure and you just need confirmation on which way to go. WordPress will see you through. It's also you will own, as it's open source and free software, you choose your own host and you just put the software on that. So you will own it. It's yours. Like, no one's going to take it away from you. WordPress is not going to get it back from you. If they go under, you'll still have it. Now, if you're not so tech savvy, and that's okay because lots of people aren't, and you think, well, I don't want to use WordPress because I'm not so tech savvy and I can't afford a professional to build it for me, that's fine. There are a heap of builders to use. There's GoDaddy, there's Wix, there's so many, and Squarespace, and to be honest, I would not touch any of them with a barge pole. Everyone has got very different views. I've been doing web design for 20 years, so I think from my point of view, I would like to recommend that if you're going to do it yourself, go Squarespace. And I say that because it's got very nice, clean templates. You choose a template, and then it is very hard to break it. So a lot of people go to these website builders and they will look like a 5-year-old made them. It's, and your clients will go and go, oh, this looks a bit homemade. How professional is this business? People get all these, they read into things just based on the presentation of the website. So Squarespace will at least keep a really good looking site, very limited templates to choose from, but they are very nice and clean. You can't customize it much, which means you can't break it, so it's good. For us as web professionals, we want to, custom brand sites and have more functionality. So for us, potentially we wouldn't want to use that. But definitely I've had a lot of clients that have come in and I've helped them DIY with Squarespace. So if you're not tech savvy, do that. You also don't have to worry about your own hosting. You can go into Squarespace and start, and they kind of can walk you through literally every step to getting online. So that's the best option for DIY. Okay. I get asked all the time what the best website is for DIY and what software I use as well. So those are my two. Now, launching an e-commerce store online is a little bit of the next step from just a basic website. So as a web professional that uses WordPress, I would use a plugin called WooCommerce. So that plugin is another piece of software that allows me to basically attach on a shop. So I can add products, I can integrate it with someone's Stripe or their PayPal account so they can take payments. I can customize the look of it so it fits and it looks exactly like it should be in the website. It's very easy then also for my clients to go on the back end and use, update products. You can, put in shipping, you can put in all sorts of different things there. I would say it's great for a handful of products. If you've got a small online store, I've got a client who's got 30 products, it's great. 50 products, fantastic, even up to maybe like, I don't know, under 100, I think. It's great. And if you want it obviously to be very customized and the aesthetics of the website is really important to you, then WooCommerce is great. If you are on the Squarespace train and you're doing the easy DIY option, Squarespace does also have its own e-com integration. So you can sell some products on Squarespace too. Again, this is best for beginners. If you are going down the Squarespace route and you need help, Squarespace itself has got quite a lot of tutorials on how to do things. So jump into the help and type in things like how to add a product or how to add an e-commerce shop. Also, this goes for any part of this presentation that I'm doing. Never be afraid to Google your exact question. How do I link up PayPal to Squarespace? There's so many hundreds of thousands and millions of people that use these softwares because they are like the most popular for a reason. So there are lots of people that have made their own training videos, YouTubers, just rife with lots of training videos so you can DIY. So please don't be afraid to Google. Google will be your best friend after you've set up one of these shops. Now, if you've got a bigger shop, so you've got, over 100 products, you've got you need like more inventory control. Maybe you've got a warehouse, you need to keep track of stock. Maybe you're going to, experience quite a few returns and that type of thing. And it's really more, your business is more an e-com business. It is actually centered around, rather than just having a few products to sell on your website. Your business, this is your business. It's e-com and it's online. I would say Shopify. And while Shopify is not the most beautiful aesthetically, it's very limited in its templates. It's a bit more basic from the front end. It is a machine, an e-commerce machine. So the back end of it, the inventory control, the stock, adding hundreds of products quite easily and marketing them to your clients, different products, getting reviews on your products, all this type of stuff is so native to Shopify. So I would recommend that for someone that this is their whole business, is selling a whole lot of different products online. I would go Shopify. Again, it's one of the biggest ones. There's lots and lots of help out there. Great. Okay. So you've got your e-commerce store and your website platforms under control. Cool. Now, something else that you can do, and this is great for people that book appointments online. So I've just helped a psychologist set up her online calendar so she can, rather than do the old-fashioned take appointments in her notepad and people call, now that this is a process that is happening more often, she's not seeing people in person as much and she's trying to save herself some administration time and save costs, she's looking at automating her calendar. Now, automating your calendar is a fantastic idea for any service professionals that have appointments. A lot of people already are on this train simply because it's so much more efficient. But now if you haven't, maybe you would want to consider doing that. So I do this myself. When you go to my website, if you want to book a call with me, rather than, I don't have people randomly ringing my phone, like as in maybe a more old-fashioned business might. I have appointment inquiries to pop up on my calendar and people will choose a time that best suits them. I tell them the sections of the day that I'm available for appointments. I tell them how far in advance they need to book. I tell them how long the appointment is. I can set so many parameters to protect like my boundaries and my diary. They book in at a available slot that suits them. I get a notification and reminders of the appointment coming up. They get notifications and reminders without me doing anything. And then also I get them to fill in a questionnaire before we jump on the call. So without doing absolutely anything or using any of my time or resources, I'll have a call with a client or a sales call or a prospective customer, and I'll know their name, their address, their email address. I'll get their questions already, and I'm ready to go and give them really good value without the overheads, without the wasting the time and the, and if they want to reschedule, they just click a button in their email and they can reschedule themselves. It's very self-service, which is great and very automated. Now, I've used a lot of these as well, and by far and away, my favorite one is Acuity Scheduler. Acuity Scheduling, also actually made by Squarespace. But I find as a digital marketer, I need to integrate the calendar with a lot of different things. I need to integrate it with my online, with my Facebook advertising. I need to integrate it with my website. I need to be able to send links where they can go straight to book in many different types of appointments. And I need it to integrate with my calendar on my iPhone. So it ticks all the boxes for me across many different industries. So that would be my first port of call, is Acuity Scheduling. Now, most of these you do have to pay a small monthly fee. Actually, we'll say of the websites too, they all will cost a monthly fee for hosting, just in case you're wondering about that. When you have a website, you need to pay for hosting. So this software here, you will pay a monthly fee. I think it's quite minimal, about $10 from memory per month, but it's a good thing to have to save you. If it even saves you an hour a month, that's worth $10, right? So I use Acuity Scheduling, and I hook it up to a Google Calendar that I share with the rest of my team so everyone can see when appointments are booked in. I also hook it up to my iPhone and my Apple laptop, and I don't use a different calendar. I don't log into the calendar. It literally pops up on my own calendar that I already use. And if I've scheduled out time, like say to take a day off or to have another appointment with another client or block out times of work, that goes through and that is blocked out on this calendar. So people want to book in and they can't book in to where my calendar is already blocked. They talk to each other, the calendar and Acuity Scheduler. So it's a really great tool, really great to have. Other ones that work well, Calendly, Timely, Schedule Once, one called Forest. There's millions of different ones. And my purpose here is to show you the one that I've tried and tested and I think stands out the best across a lot of different industries from my point of view. So for sure, if you've heard of another one, do your own research, absolutely, and find the one that's best for you. Okay, next, meetings. This is going to be, I think, I should buy shares in Zoom actually. I think this is going to be the one thing that every single person is going to know how to do after this current economic crisis. So taking meetings, consultations, lessons, group workshops, online events. We are seeing so much go online, and video conferencing is absolutely at the forefront of that. Now, by far and away, Zoom stands out for me as the one that I prefer to use. You can use I'm on a free plan, because I speak to clients one-on-one and I speak to team members one-on-one. So it's free, and then if you have a group, so as in if I have more than 2 people, 3 people is considered a group, you can have up to 40 minutes for free. So then after that, you need to upgrade to a paid plan. If you want to have one-to-many, so you want to hold workshops, look, I have worked with business coaches and I still do, and that's just how we operate. Business coaches in a different town or might be overseas, and we jump on and have a group coaching session on Zoom. So they're talking and there's like 10 or 15 of us dialing in from wherever we are around the world, no problems at all. They would pay to present to a group, they would pay a professional membership. So if you are at, a university or a school, or you hold workshops or lessons and you want to go one to a group, you will need a paid plan if you use Zoom. Now, if you don't want to go Zoom, also the other thing I'd say with Zoom, the good thing is, like I'm currently doing with my Zoom, I'm Zooming right now and I'm recording this so then I can use that video and upload it on my website or on Facebook or wherever else I need to upload it, Vimeo, YouTube, etc. You can record your sessions on Zoom. So you can store them somewhere online. They can be revisited and rewatched afterwards, which is great, absolutely fantastic. You can also share your screen as I'm doing now. So if you need to share your PowerPoint, if you need to share, you need to show someone what you're looking at, you need to show them a browser, or you need to show them a video or whatever, you can share your screen. They can share their screen. You can take control of someone else's screen and someone else's computer when you're talking to them. There's quite a lot of options there, which is awesome. Other ways you can communicate via video, if Zoom is not your jam. You can obviously video on FaceTime on your iPhone. If you have an iPhone, you can go onto Facebook Messenger and do a video call and put the cute little cat filters on if you want. Obviously these are not recorded, but they're just ways that you can still communicate via video. So if you normally would just do a quick face-to-face meeting with a client and you'd rather just do a quick video call, just FaceTime them or video messenger them. That's a great way to still keep in touch and have more of a personal contact. I find with Zoom, I can read people's body language still. We can still have a really great chat as if we're face-to-face. I find it better than a phone call where I can't see someone and read their body language and help respond. Skype, that's a really good old-fashioned one that's still very relevant. It's free unless you want to use the phone and phone different countries as well. Skype's great. It's not great for me. I try and Skype clients overseas in America and it drops out all the time. So I suppose depending on your internet and what you need it for. The other one that's very popular too is Google Hangouts. So Google Hangouts is much like Zoom. It is free. You can share your screen. You can do a lot of things that you can do with Zoom. So while Zoom is my preference, I know a lot of other people do also like Google Hangouts. So that's another option to look at too. Now that we can talk to people, we've got our website, e-commerce, what about your team? So my team here, working virtually. Okay, we work virtually quite a number of times a month anyway when everything's going normal. And we need to communicate in a way that's just as quick as talking, because when you're sitting beside someone and you're talking, you can get through work or fix problems or overcome hurdles immediately. Whereas if you're to have a team member work from home and they were to email you an issue, they might wait for your reply, you might not check your emails. Like it's very it's very interrupted and it's not very free flowing. It's really hard to get the same amount of productivity and work happening. So if you do have team members that are working remotely and they normally would work beside you and you need a more free flowing conversation, our team uses Slack. That is free. Again, they do have more paid options, but we manage to manage a whole team and different. Sometimes we have people working away in different countries and it's no problem at all. So Slack is real time. You literally have a message pop up on your screen. So you can turn off the notifications if you want, to block out times of productivity. But it's quite good because as a team leader, my job is to help overcome barriers as quickly as possible so that my team can keep working and keep productive and, they don't have to start projects. Slack is really good. And we can separate our conversations by project. So there might be a website project that we're working on and I'll get someone pop up and ask a question, hey, this project. And all of their notes for that project will be stored under the project name. So if I want to go back and look at our conversation, I can just, for a certain project, I can just click on that project name. I can have, private chats or group chats or visible chats with anyone in my team. I can chat with 2 people or I can chat with 3 people at a time. I can choose a lot of those options. And the fact that it's real time and it keeps us going, it keeps us flowing is absolutely priceless for us. So other option, I know there are other options for this out there. Obviously you could, Google Hangouts does have a chat function. You can chat in Messenger. I feel like that's also too slow because it doesn't pop up on my computer as I'm working. Or it gets mixed up with personal messages, say, or messages from clients, whereas Slack's just for my team. There's another program called Telegram, which works similar to Slack. Again, I don't like the layout of it. I think it's much harder to it's not as free-flowing as Slack, not as easy to keep working and find what you need to find. Another option is putting all of the people you want to communicate with in a Facebook message chat, or perhaps a private Facebook group. So I have Facebook message chats often with clients when it's we're talking about a project and we keep messaging back and forward, and so all of our communications about a project are in the Facebook Messenger chat, simply because for them that was a better option than emailing, because they're on their phone all the time, and there might be a tradesperson and be out and about and they can't get to their email, but they needed to tell me something. So there are other options out there. My favorite is Slack for sure. Okay, so I know I'm going through this quite fast. I will put the file to download somewhere on the page that this video is sitting on. I will put a few links, including how to download this, so you can go through it at your own time, in your own time. I just wanted to give you a really quick overview of the softwares that I use. So file sharing is a big one. Now, this is something that I've encouraged my clients to do since it emerged, and I definitely do this myself. And now I think it's going to be, as people work virtually and they need to share files with teams and they can't rely on their server in their office, I think this is more important than ever to be aware of how this works and to implement it if you haven't got it already in your business, right? So the one that I use and I love and adore, or the two actually, I couldn't decide and prefer, I can't choose between them, but I use both Dropbox and Google Drive for different purposes. Now, you may have heard of Dropbox. It is, all of these options are free for a personal account. So they're free for a certain amount, and then as you start to store more data and you need more data, you pay per month. The price is so minimal for the amount of space you get. It's way better than having to, put more hard drive space on your computer, for example. External hard drives are a thing of the past. I don't have a disk where a USB drive. I don't even have a port. I've got 6 computers in here. None of them have USB ports. None of them have CD drives. So transfer of data is all done electronically through the cloud. It's quicker, it's safer, it's cheaper. There are so many benefits to it. This is how we operate these days. We don't need those archaic storage devices anymore. In actual fact, like the biggest threat to our computers and our data up to like maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago was if my computer or my hard drive got damaged or crashed or got dropped on the floor and broken, we would lose a lot of data. I would have to make sure I had my backups in different spots. Maybe I had a couple of backups stored off-site in case of fire. Like, it was an issue, right? And then that also poses security issues too. Like, what if someone got my computer and had access to everything? Whereas now, if any of my hardware got damaged, I would simply buy a new computer and log into my account and all the stuff would come back from the cloud. It's all up in the cloud. If there was a security issue and someone took a computer was stolen, I would just change the password so they couldn't get in. So it's much more secure and much more safe these days to have everything stored in the cloud, and so much quicker too. Gone are the days where you have to rifle through different hard drives to find where different data is, or CDs. Oh my goodness, I used to have like thousands of CDs stacked up in my on my office shelf, and I had to rifle through them to find different things that I'd saved. No more. So Dropbox and Google Drive. Now, Dropbox is great because not only do you log in online, so I can go to dropbox.com website and log into my account. I don't like to look at things through a browser. I like everything to be on my computer as if it's just a normal folder, and you can do that. So you can, when you download the desktop app for Dropbox, it simply puts a folder on your computer, just like all your other folders, just like your documents folder or your hard drive folder or your C drive folder if you're on Windows. Like, it's just another folder. So So you simply just put files in there just like any other folder, but it is syncing to the cloud all the time. You can turn off sync if you don't have much internet. You can turn on sync. You can selectively sync different folders. You've got lots of options there. So I don't log in to the internet, to the website browser to access these things either. That's really important to note because I feel like that makes it quite hard and clunky for people to use. If it's just a folder on your computer, easy. Now, Google Drive is fantastic too because obviously it's Google and they are just all over research and development. But they do have a file storage option, a folder storage option, which I feel like doesn't work quite as well as Dropbox for me. So I don't use Google Drive to store files in. A lot of my clients with less need to date to store things online do use Google Drive and they use it quite successfully. So it is definitely up there as a great option. My preference is Dropbox, but Google Drive is definitely still up there. What else I use Google for? So I have a Google account and I have had my Gmail address is actually googlemail.com. So that's like when it used to be called Google Mail, not Gmail. So that's how long I've had a Google account for. It actually still works too. It's Schot@googlemail.com. So where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so Google is just fantastic for so many things. But basically, I have a Google Drive account that I use to do all of my Word documents. So I don't use Microsoft Word or Excel anymore. I have them simply so I can open client files when they send them through. But if I were to use Word, that would mean I would have to save. I potentially would lose my work. I would have to then paste it into my Dropbox after I finished with it. There's a lot more work, whereas Google Drive has got its own suite of exactly the same as Microsoft. So it's got Google Pages, I think it's called, is the equivalent of Word. Google Sheets is the equivalent of Excel. Now I can start a Word, it's a Google page document in Google and type, and it literally saves after every keystroke and never have to press save ever. And it's immediately live and I can share this and it's saved. It's safe and it's saved. I don't have to do anything with it. I don't have to move it. And I can literally get the link to that document and share it with other people. So I share, like I might write a blog article and I'll just write it and I don't have to worry about losing any data. It's saved after every keystroke. After I've finished working on it, I can get the shareable link and I can then send that on to my client to proof, or I can send it to another team member to jump in. We can both be in the same document and just keep typing at the same time. I can literally see where their cursor is typing and I can type down here. It's so flexible and so great. And same with the Google Sheets, which is the equivalent of Excel. I keep all of my Excel stuff and the formulas and everything just on Google Sheets, because again, after every keystroke, after every change, it's saved. And then if I make a mistake and I think, oh, I want to go back 4 versions ago, normally in Excel, I would save like version 1, version 2, version 3, and keep all these old versions. You don't have to with Google Sheets or Google Pages. You just have to go click on See Revisions, and it will tell you every time it's saved, and you just go back to the date that you want to go back to. It's saved it all, already in the one document. Can't sing its praises enough, honestly. So you need to at least be using Google Sheets and Google Pages in your business and have all of your files on the cloud, whether that be in Google Drive. Google Drive, you can actually also have the folders on your desktop, like Dropbox as well. Even though it's not my preference to use Google Drive in this way, you can do that. So all your files should be in Google Drive or Dropbox as well. Now you can just get your team members to also log in to the same Dropbox account on their computer, and they will get access to all the same stuff that you have access to. You'll probably be familiar with other softwares that do a similar job. So there's iCloud, which is native to Apple. Now, I did use iCloud for quite a while. I found I had a lot of issues with syncing documents fast. So if I made a change to a design document that I was working on, like let's just say it was a magazine or a logo, I made a change, and then like half an hour later, I asked one of my teammates to open the document from our shared iCloud folder and make a change, and my changes hadn't saved yet. So we were forever like going, oh, how can we get it to sync up to the cloud faster? And we found there was no way to force sync it. So we were often at the mercy of when iCloud decided to sync it, which wasn't fast enough for us. In our environment, we need access to files immediately. And it simply wasn't fast enough. We don't have that problem with Dropbox. So that's why that's not our favorite. And also to note that's native to Apple. OneDrive is similar. It's got the same logo even. That is the equivalent of iCloud, and it's native to Windows. So both of those also really great options, could work for you really well. I'm just saying my preference is Dropbox and Google Drive. Okay. So if you don't know that you need to be online now, you're getting the picture, right? I'm giving you all the software so that you can go and get it done. Okay, this is our favorite one, right? Email marketing. Everyone knows they need to do it. People don't like doing it. People think no one's going to read the emails, all of that palaver. Well, you have no choice now, so let's get on with it. Okay, we do know that a lot of you have databases and you just let them go. You don't do anything with them. Databases of clients that have used you before. Database of people lists you might have grown. You might have gone to an expo and collected business cards and you haven't done anything with them. So you do need to communicate with them. If we know, and you know this too, you know that to re-engage a previous customer or client is so much easier and more cost effective and time saving than onboarding or finding a cold new customer and onboarding them. We already know that the money, most of the money is in with our existing clients that already know, like, trust and love you. Got it? So email is a great way to keep in contact with them. It's free too. So once you have, if you've already got an email marketing platform, you can send out quite a number of emails for no extra charge. Versus if you know you're advertising, obviously you're paying for the ads to keep running. Email marketing is a great low-cost way to keep in touch. Now, if there's a few quotes that I love, statistically speaking, if you are not, if your brand is physically not in front of your clients once every 90 days, they will in their day-to-day life come across another brand similar to yours. So the question is, do you have your brand and people, and you know, does it pass people's eyeballs once every 90 days? There are many ways you can do that, and we always recommended a holistic program because we know people can be either social media people or email people or television people or whatever. They can all have different preferences in the media they consume and where they might possibly see your brand. So we say do a little bit of everything. At least do more than one. Okay, we'll go down to like at least do more than one. The more you can do, the better, but make sure that you're doing it consistently. So email marketing, it still does convert. Like I've got retail clients, we send out an email and we make $3,000 from an email selling products. We send out another email, we make another $3,000. So it's literally people are buying from the emails we send out. So you can't tell me it doesn't work. We also have professional services clients. We might send out a message and need a reply. So it could be a competition, it could be asking for feedback, and we get replies. People are reading them. Standard open rate is 20%. If you're hitting 20%, you're doing the right job. That is normal. Okay, don't expect to have 100% open rate. People's email security can be high and you might go into junk. They might be busy that month. They might not want to read your email that month. Doesn't mean they don't want you in their inbox. It just means 20% of people are going to open, and that's absolutely fine. We also know that email converts. An email is likely to convert 4,400% more effectively than just putting a social media organic post up. We see a lot of clients spending a lot of time worrying about the social media, agonizing over it. And ads, yes, if you're going out to cold, it's worth the time and effort and money. But organic posting, when you post, only it's about 5%, maybe not even that, are actually of your audience are actually going to see the post. At least 20% of your email database is going to see your email. So when you're agonizing, don't agonize, just chill out, do a little bit of everything. Okay, so now I'll just get off my soapbox now about email marketing. MailChimp, how many times do you email market? That's another question I get asked that I would like to share with you. And it is different for every business, right? But I would say once a month at the minimum for every business. And I would not personally want to see people go more than once a week for like bigger businesses that maybe need to email their list a lot. I do have a client that does twice a week, and sometimes I do drop it down to once because, again, it does take us a while to collect this email list, so we really want to respect them, right? We want to, every time we email, we want to have something interesting, valuable for them to share. We don't just want to be there for the sake of being there. We want to think of something that's really interesting and useful to share with them. It can be hard to think of stuff more than once a week. All right, so my favorites are MailChimp and ActiveCampaign. Now, I've been using MailChimp for many, many, many years, and it definitely has not been my favorite at all prior to leading up to this year. MailChimp and ActiveCampaign are both my favorites. Sometimes I have to use ActiveCampaign. Sometimes I have to use MailChimp, depending on the situation. The pluses and minuses, I will say, if you're after extremely low cost and DIY, MailChimp is free for up to, I think it's about 2,000 subscribers on your list. That's probably subject to change every now and again. But yeah, they do have a low cost free option. And then once you get up to like a few hundred, more than a couple of thousand subscribers, you will be paying the same amount as an ActiveCampaign account. ActiveCampaign don't have a free option. So MailChimp, the reason I had to start using MailChimp again recently was because MailChimp integrates with nearly everything natively. It is such a popular platform. And a while back, like a few years ago, I used it, and so did every other man and his dog. And a lot of spammy type companies used it. So it was starting to get blacklisted and it had a bit of a bad name for deliverability. And I found that emails weren't being delivered very well. Fast forward, and obviously a lot of money and time and effort on their end, cleaning up their practices. It's good again, and they've changed, like the interface has changed. They've brought in a whole lot of new products. It is really good, and it's quite a holistic type email marketing platform. So start with MailChimp if you're unsure and you're really on the DIY low cost train at the moment. Definitely start with MailChimp. It's easy to use. There's such a wealth, a huge wealth of educational content, how-to content on MailChimp's site itself. You wouldn't ever have to even go off and Google how to do it. So MailChimp is great. ActiveCampaign is still one of my favorites because although it doesn't do some of the functionality that MailChimp does, you can't build your own landing pages. You can't like manage Google ads. You can do things like that from MailChimp. Not that I would, but you can. ActiveCampaign is purely for email marketing, and it does a damn good job at it. So I like it because it keeps it simple. Like it does like the inch wide, mile deep thing. So it keeps it simple and user friendly, but damn, it does a really good job at email marketing. So you can, the reporting, everything is just so good. And it does integrate with most as well. So it's a pretty popular platform to use. So they're my two favorites. Now there are a lot of choice. There's a lot of choice out there, and everyone will have their favorite. These are my favorites as a digital marketer, but there's other examples are GetResponse, Campaign Monitor, Aweber. We have clients that use Ontraport. There's loads of different options out there. Keep, Infusionsoft, they're really popular. Depending on what you need it for, a lot of those ones have way more functionality in them than what you would need. So it's very complex. HubSpot does email marketing. They're like CRM systems that do like, you can manage your social media, you can manage email marketing, you can manage client contact, you can put like little follow-up tasks in there. You can do like just so much stuff from these programs that sometimes if you want to use all that functionality, it's great. and might be worth investigating in it. If you just want to send out emails, then sometimes it's easier just to go with the simpler programs that are really easy to use. So they're my two favorite email marketing platforms. Now it's over to you. So I've given you the programs that I use and I have used for at least the last, I've been monitoring this stuff and using it and trialing different ones and working with clients' own programs that they bring to me for the last 20 years. And certainly it has ramped up in the last 5 years as people have been voluntarily going digital, and a lot of digital business has been born. Now that you have to go virtual, we have to really consider how that would look for you. It's time for you just to give it a crack. It's time, and you've got the opportunity right now to evolve your business, pivot your business, and be one of the ones that prosper. There are, as you know, in every storm, there are opportunities and there are businesses that absolutely thrive. There are a lot that take a battering, and there are some that thrive, absolutely thrive. And it wasn't necessarily easy for them to do that, and it wasn't necessarily straightforward, but a lot of them had to take a step back, think creatively, and also think a big picture, look to the other side as well. So don't just think about this for the now, but think about what you're building, big picture and long term. You're building something and working on something greater than just now. So, and if you implement digital strategies and you launch new products online and you take some of your business online, then out the other end of this current economic crisis, you are going to be in a position set to soar. And don't forget, then other businesses are in a position where they need to retract and retreat, or they choose to hibernate for 3 months. You're already out there, you're visible, you're being seen, you're being a leader in your industry. You are going to absolutely soar on the other side when they're just starting to kind of come out of hibernation and slowly warm up. You're already going to have hit the ground running. So absolutely big, big, big well wishes to you. And please, 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 if you need to ask any questions, please find me on social media and DM me. I've got a Facebook group that you're welcome to ask questions in, and I'll put the link to that below. But you got this. You got this. We can do it. We can do it together. Now, if anyone's feeling a little overwhelmed and they think, okay, I don't got this right now, and I just don't think I've got the time or capacity to do that because I'm still doing whatever else I need to do in my business, then we're offering reduced rates at the moment to help other businesses get on to literally do what I've just said, do the work for them, get them online as quick as possible. We do this all the time with clients, so we're quite quick at doing it, and we just do it every day anyway. But we are going to offer reduced rates so that it helps you out as much as possible. And I'll put a link to how to contact me. I will again put my calendar link in so you can book at a time that suits you. You can see the process of having a virtual business in operation. You'll book in a time that best suits you, and then we can hook up for a phone chat or a Zoom chat, maybe over the phone if you're not virtual just yet, and we can see how we can help you. Also, if it's of interest to you, you can register for our online course. So I've just launched, I'm in the process of launching, nearly finished, the online course, which is going through setting up your virtual business, all of the items we've included above, plus more, in literally how to do it, step-by-step process. So it'll be we will take it right from getting a brand name and getting that registered through to physically how you would set up your website, how you would set up your email, how you would write your emails, how you would send them out. We're literally holding your hand and taking you through step by step, because we know a lot of people are potentially not confident enough, even though they know the platforms, they might still want that step-by-step guidance. So we're going to offer that at a really low cost too, to help people get online and get digital as fast as possible. Any questions, please find me and message me. Otherwise, click one of the links below. Otherwise, get out there and get digital. See you later. Oh, end meeting. All right, guys, have a fantastic week.